Today at the Popcorn Passport, I've decided that we're going to take a week and do some of my favorite movies. And today we're doing my top 10 Eddie Murphy movies. My personal favorite. These aren't the movies that made the most money. And they might not have been the funniest Eddie Murphy movies to everybody else, but they were definitely my favorite. And that's what we're going to talk about today. In no particular order, top 10 Eddie Murphy movies. Number 1, 48 Hours. Great movie. In fact, it was one of the movies that made me say, yeah, this dude's the king of comedy. This guy is hilarious. 48 Hours is the traditional switch places movie. Rich guy takes poor guy's place, poor guy takes rich guy's place, and see how they survive. Great movie. Number 2, Coming to America. Another big movie. A lot of urban weddings after that movie were based on his wedding in the movie, just to show you how powerful that movie was. A prince who has a wedding with a woman he's never met before has to decide if that's what he's going to do or if he's going to find his own bride, man. And he decides he's going to take an excursion over to the U.S. and check out the world from just that one city. Actually, just a few blocks. He didn't really go anyplace. It was hilarious. Had a lot of people in it, and they're doing a part 2 that I'm really waiting to see. Something I'm wondering about with that movie, he had that girl, so you'll do anything I want. Yes, Your Highness. Bark like a dog. And she's barking like a dog, hop on one foot, make him sound like a baboon. He's got to doing this stuff, and then he tells her to wait in the other room. He never told her to stop barking or jumping or waiting. So I'm wondering, after all these years, is she still in that room with her hands out, jumping up and down, barking like a dog? I wonder. They've got to bring that up into part 2. 3, and in no particular order, Dolomite Is My Name. Possibly today's best comedian. Imitates the life of another genre of comedian who was the best at what, raunchy comedy. Dolomite actually was funny to me also. Liked a lot of his movies, and Eddie Murphy was spot on in this movie. I think it was one of his best movies. The Golden Child, horror flick. When you think of a comedian, there's a lot of comedians who have stepped over the line and done villains, horror, whatever, something different than their genre. They're usually pretty good at it. Eddie Murphy is no exception. When he did Golden Child, I thought it was just going to be like a straight up comedy. But when, the monster busts out of the wall and it's got the crazy wings and the horns on his face, I was like, this is an honest to God horror movie. It was scary. It wasn't so scary that I had to sleep with the covers over my head or something like that, but it was an actual horror movie with a comedian. It was good. Sodom Nomspa. Number 5, Vampire in Brooklyn, another horror movie. Eddie Murphy plays a vampire from the tribe Nosferatu, which is actually just a type of vampire. But he comes from Africa to seek his bride and gets into all kinds of misfit and shenanigans. It's a good movie too. Life. 2 men meet, and just a coincidental meeting in a bathroom forces them to live their lives together forever, or probably until the day they die. They're old men at the end. That was a good movie too. And that movie showed their life. It showed their life. That was the name of the movie, Life. Showtime. Showtime, Eddie Murphy plays a cop, a rookie cop, kind of a rookie cop, and he wants to make detective. So they team him up with Robert De Niro, who hates him, but they're forced to work together. And it's called Showtime because an incident forces a TV show to be able to put the screws to the police department and allow them to film, sort of like Cops. But they're only doing these two particular cops, Eddie Murphy and Robert De Niro, following them around for all of their antics. I always thought that could have been a TV show. It was a good idea. Beverly Hills Cop. When you think about Eddie Murphy, that is probably the quintessential movie that you think about when you think Eddie Murphy. Beverly Hills Cop. He's a cop in Detroit who doesn't play by the rules. He does his own thing. For some reason, he doesn't get fired for stealing stuff from the police department to use in his own schemes to catch villains. I don't know how he got away with that, but it's a movie, so you got to suspend belief. And he gets sent to Beverly Hills to investigate. Well, he doesn't get sent. He goes to Beverly Hills to investigate the murder of his friend. And he gets twisted all up in all kinds of things. Good movie. Pluto Nash. People are going to say that is one of Eddie Murphy's worst movies. He doesn't do a lot of flops, but this one and what was the one? Best Defense. Those are probably his two least profitable movies. But I liked it. I thought it was pretty good. He's on the moon. He's living on the moon. People live on Earth, but he hates Earth. Earth sucks. He's living on the moon. He's a quasi-criminal, sort of. And a new gangster comes into the area and he's squeezing everybody. And he wants to squeeze Eddie Murphy and kick him out of this club that he kind of got from a gangster. And he doesn't want to give up the club. So he's got to compete against the one person in the entire universe that Eddie Murphy would have a problem with. I don't want to give it away because you don't know who the guy is till the end of the movie. But Pluto Nash, I thought it was good. Most people thought it sucked, but I was pulled in. I was intrigued. Number 10, Metro. Eddie Murphy's a cop. Again, I know that's a stretch for Eddie Murphy to do a cop comedy, but he did it again. And he's in this movie, and he plays a negotiator who has a gambling problem and some other problems. He's a womanizer. Well, he's not a womanizer, but he treated this woman badly, so she doesn't want to be with him, so he's trying to get her back. There's a whole intricate plot of everything that's going on in this movie, and it's kind of cool. I enjoyed this movie, Metro. He crosses a villain who wants revenge, so they're going tit for tat, going back and forth, trying to get at each other. It was really good. Michael Rappaport is in it, plays his partner. I thought that one was another one that could have made a fairly good television show, but que sera, sera. It is what it is. These are my personal top 10 Eddie Murphy movies. Let's see what your top 10 are. Let's see if you would change something on my list to something else, or you think something shouldn't be there at all. Let's talk about it in the comments. And as always, if you like the video, if you like the content, subscribe. And then like.
Popcorn passport. Get your popcorn passport.